Okay, you guys have all been waiting for it, so we are going to call Mick Mars' son, Les Paul Deal, and I've compiled 12 questions. I had tons of them from you guys over the past 3 years that you guys have for Les. So we're going to do basically like a little interview Q&A with him. Tomorrow, Les is going to teach you some of his dad's songs, parts of songs. We'll have to find out. So what do you say? Let's call him. Let's call him. He probably doesn't even know it's going to be recording when he answers here. Let's see if he knows how to answer, because he just had to download Skype. He doesn't know how to answer on Skype. Alright. I'm going to keep it recording. Alright, hold on here. Alright, let's try this again. You know, you can see I'm hooking up my Sony Handycam and just gonna zoom in because I'm not a computer savvy guy. I just go with, you know, with what I can do with my basic knowledge. Les doesn't know how to answer, does he? Come on, Lester. Let's do this. Let's try again. Oh, the suspense. Copy, paste, texting him now. I'm going to tell him, calling now. He says he didn't see it or hear it. So. He's using his phone, his smartphone for this. Maybe his phone's not smart enough? We don't know. Find out. No, he's not picking up. Okay, I'm going to tell him to call me. And I'll answer. Let's see if Les calls me. He figured it out. Alright, let's do this, you guys. You figured it out, food.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. I already had the camera going just to shock the hell out of you.
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Actually, it's perfect.
Okay, because I had to put earbuds in because I don't think my phone would be loud enough.
Oh, what are you using, an iPhone or a smartphone?
I've got an iPhone, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't have a camera on the computer.
You're more behind the times than me, Les.
I know it. Analog still rules.
Heck yeah. Well, like I said, I hit record on this. I've got the camera on the computer screen, so it's on you now. So
I got you.
This has been over 3 years in the making. People wanting to meet you, and you know, several of them have contacted you on Facebook. I hope they don't bug you, but.
The next morning, after you made the announcement, I had like 23 requests in the morning, and I was just like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Yeah, well, I told him. I said, Les is kicked back, and hopefully most people are respectful, you know.
But what I like is I'm lefty in this. Isn't that cool?
No, you're showing it. Oh, when I'm looking at the screen, I can tell it's right.
Oh, it is right-handed.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I was afraid. Because, see, I'm looking at myself down here in the corner.
Yeah.
And I show myself as left-handed. And I went, man, I hope it doesn't show up left-handed.
Yeah. Facebook Live turns things around. You know how to do the Facebook Live because you've been doing them with Van Whalen.
Right.
So,
right.
But anyways, you're on camera.
Cool.
And welcome. And obviously, you know a lot of what I did last was I have tons of questions. I just picked 12 of them. You know a lot of them are going to be pertaining to your dad.
Like this?
There you go. And you know what? I'm not like a big edit guy, so for you people watching, there's not going to be any editing. So if Les farts, if I fart, it's staying. It's staying.
Or if I just do this.
Yeah, that guitar is awesome, by the way. Look at that. Is it like a fabric, like a leather?
It's leather, yeah.
See, I didn't know that initially.
And stitched.
Yeah, I didn't notice that initially until you posted a picture of it, and you could kind of see under the. I was like, oh, he put like a cover over it. That's cool.
Yep. Built this thing from scratch. Laminated hunk of African mahogany, maple neck, all from raw wood, basically.
That is so cool. Is that your favorite axe?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, the neck's still too fat for my short, stubby fingers.
Yeah, why do you got the short, stubby fingers when your dad has that monster thumb?
I don't know. I don't know how I missed out on that. I got my mom's hands.
When I played with Striper, you've seen it, Michael Sweet gave me
Sure.
his guitar to play. I could not believe the size of the sausages on his hand, man.
Yeah.
They were monstrous. I'm like, holy cow. And then I'm looking at pictures now going, yeah, they're really that big.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I mean, we can kind of go however. I mean, if we were talking about doing the lessons, which people would love to see your take on that. But why don't we get like the questions out of the way, and then we can talk and see if we want to do. You don't have to teach whole songs lesson. I'll kind of help you through it.
Yeah.
If you don't.
I just when it comes to my playing my dad's stuff, I don't play it very often, and to be quite honest with you, I'm pretty sloppy at it.
Are you? Well, you're playing
Yeah.
in Van Walen and stuff now too, and it's like anything. Like when we were teenagers, I'd come over, man. You were figuring out the Motley songs before it even hit the media.
Yeah, well, there was that, and then I was figuring them out a lot of times the wrong way.
Were you?
The ear wasn't quite in tune yet, and we all still grow continuously. So I still find myself going, man, I've been playing that wrong all along.
Me too, man. And it's like that's part of learning, though. Is like you got to make those mistakes to dial in your ear and get better.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you say we nail these questions real quick?
Sure.
Number one is from Miss Feelgood 24, and I know the answers to several of these, but they don't. Did you ever go on tour with Motley?
Yep. My first tour, my dad took me out. I was 22 years old on the 94 tour with John Corabi. Did that short run here in the States. We did 2 legs. It just, I don't know, it lasted like a 2 months for a leg, a week off, and then another 2 months or something like that. And they call it the Everywhere There's Electricity Tour. And us road guys, we called it Everywhere There Was Mud. Mud and rain.
Oh,
because it just seemed like that's what we were working in that stuff constantly.
Where were you?
But yeah, I was green. I'd never left the state of California up until that tour. I'd never been on an airplane or any of that other stuff. I was just really, really green.
You probably hate flying now, huh?
No, flying never really bothered me.
Well, that little stint I did with Striper, getting really quick, I realized how much I would not really like that aspect of it. It's just layovers, 3 different flights, sitting, just passing the time.
Well, most of the time you're on a tour bus, so you got to get used to sleeping with the bumps in the road. And really, tour buses are all a ride, and they ride like Cadillacs. I mean,
oh yeah,
fantastic. And then the other tour was the tour that Vince came back and they did Degeneration Swine album in '97. And so I jumped on that when it was actually already rolling. They needed another carpenter out there, and that's what before.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you went on that tour.
Yeah, they're just, the term carpenter, it's just kind of loose on that term on it. I mean, it was prefabricated, X-bracing staging is all it was. Very similar to scaffolding. And Tommy had that disappearing drum stunt for that '97 tour that it was a piece of crap. It worked only about 20% of the time, and every time it would fail, Tommy would come back and rip me a new one. And
that's funny. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look that up on YouTube. I didn't know nothing about the disappearing kit.
Yeah, you look it up, and if you look very carefully, you can catch me jumping off of it as I'm removing a black towel from a mirror.
Oh, if I can't find it, you gotta send me the link. I was watching some of the typo stuff, you know, where you were back there.
Yeah, I usually try to stay hidden. You know, when I'm out there, you know, I'm a paid employee just like everybody else, and you know, just stay hidden. It's not my spotlight to be in.
Right.
You know?
Well, if a mic falls, this or that, man, you got to run out there and put it back.
Yep. The one, there was one somewhere up in the Midwest with, I don't know what it was, Wisconsin or something, playing an arena out there, and this was on the 94 tour, and they started scaling back a little bit and playing a wooden stage, and someone had lobbed beer up on the stage, and it was pretty slippery. So I'm running out there with a towel to go wipe it up, and Nikki reaches up behind me and pants me in front of about 6,000 people.
Oh, no.
I mean, you talk about slow motion, you know, for me to get my pants back up, you know, and I was not ready to show off anything. You know, I was at full-on work mode, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that probably pissed you off.
Well, I ended up taking the wet beer towel, rolling it up like a rat tail and trying to snap him. My dad's yelling at me, "Stop doing it, get off the stage, you're gonna make you mad, go."
That's funny, that's a story I never heard.
Yeah, I chased him around what seemed like a minute, but it probably wasn't. He was probably only a couple of seconds.
Well, we used to pull our pants off all the time back in the day, but not in front of thousands of people.
Right. It's just, like I said, he was just slow motion, and then the laughter, the roar from the audience. I mean, he was just like, oh, and I actually, you could feel a warmth. It was like, oh! You know?
Oh, man. Is there anything on YouTube? Probably not.
No, I wish there was. Well, it's definitely a funny story that I talk about with, you know, other friends and people that ask, you know, any weird or funny moments out on the road. So, yeah, that's one of the top ones.
Well, you answered 2 in 1, because another one of the questions is your craziest experience. That probably would be it. But
one of, yeah.
Number 2 is from Tim B. I didn't have a last name on this guy. What gauge strings does your dad use?
11 to 50, I believe. They are Ernie balls. Basically, I think it's the purple pack.
Yeah.
That he uses. He's been using Ernie balls pretty much his entire life. His tech switched him over to Dunlop for a short time, and not that the Dunlop strings were bad or anything like that. It just my dad has his loyalties, and he's dealt with you know, Sterling and all those people up there at Music Man and Ernie Ball for years, and they've got, you know, a really good relationship.
Yeah. You know, I guess if you're tuning down a whole step, 11s is probably like a light gauge set.
They feel like, you know, 9s or 10s, you know, if they're, you know, I tune this thing down to a whole step now, but I usually play 10 to 52, so these things are like rubber underneath my fingers.
Yeah, that's probably how I would go too. Why make it harder? That's how I always looked at it.
Yeah, well, I play hard. As a matter of fact, right before you called up, I busted a D string, and I just put this pack on there. But I play with a fairly heavy pick, and I play kind of hard. So
what do you use? 1.0?
I'm using a .73.
That's about, yeah. I'm still using what I used back in the day when we were in the band together, the Jim Dunlop 88 millimeters.
This is the one I'm using right here.
Yep, I got a few of those. Yeah, I like them, but I like the Dunlop because I like the little gription on it.
Yep, and I did the Fender mediums for a while, but I would get through just a few songs and the tip would bust off.
Always, I know. That's why I never could use those Fender picks. Okay.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
No, you're not, man. This is awesome. Frankie says, what bands did you go on tour with, and what was your craziest experience? So you kind of named one of them, but whatever.
Yeah, well, really, Typo Negative was probably the main band I toured with the longest. I was Josh's keyboard tech, and you know, we did, you know, they did their own headlining stuff and whatever, but they also had some great opening slots with some great bands. So, you know, we got to experience some, you know, Ozfest with, you know, Black Sabbath and Pantera and Marilyn Manson, and, you know, so, you know, all of us road guys, you know, from the different bands and stuff would get together, and there was a cool time. We played in San Antonio, there at the Alamo Dome, and we stayed in a hotel that was connected to a shopping mall. And I was walking around, and I bumped into Tony Iommi, and he recognized me as one of the road guys, and he just sat there and talked to me, and I'm, trying to be as normal as I can, but I'm sitting there standing next to a legend and talking with him, and it's just like, man.
Yeah, kind of one of the godfathers of metal, huh?
Absolutely, and just super nice guy. I used to have to kick Ozzy off my cases every night because he would come out. He liked Typo, and he liked watching the band play, and I always had my cases for my speakers for Josh's keyboard rig. They were the perfect height to sit on when they were laying when I was over sideways, and I used to have to go over and go, Oz, I need the cases. Oh, yep, right. Dude, hop off and,
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
That was 97?
Yeah, 97. Right before I finished with that, then I ended up jumping on to Motley after that one.
So that was kind of post grunge when like the newer metal started coming out and.
Yeah, and there was just a lot of really good bands on ability, and they were doing 2 stages on that one. I don't know if they ended up doing 2 stages for the rest of them after that.
What about Soundgarden? That was one of the bands I liked in the grunge thing. Did you guys ever play with them?
No, never really crossed paths with those guys. Crossed paths with the guitar player. He came out to a show. I didn't talk to him or anything like that, but he just hung out with the Typo guys and stuff like that. I still have work to do and gear to pack up and stuff like that. But got to go to Typo Negative was a band that took me a lot of places, all over Europe. Josh took me to Japan on a press tour. They only had really enough press for one guy, and so he asked the record label, hey, can I bring my tech? So it was kind of like a birthday thing. I got to spend my 21st birthday in Japan. It was awesome.
That is so cool. Yeah, you still talk